This is for ITM-201. This is group 2 presenting. In our group, there is UI Lee, Mr. Kevin Hammer, and myself narrating, Mike Kegley. Going over 3 main topics today. That'll be the Internet of Things, IoT, big data, and cloud computing. In 2007, a bridge in Minneapolis, Minnesota that stretches over the Mississippi River collapsed during rush hour, killing 13 and injuring 145. The collapse resulted from a structural failure. Crumbling concrete and weakened steel plates could no longer support the bridge. How could technology have prevented the tragedies like this from occurring in the future? And what if the components of the bridge could alert us when they are compromised and need of repair? This all might sound like science fiction, but we are closer to smart bridges than we may think. Quick summary of our 3 topics we're going to be going over. IoT, big data, cloud computing. Some of the most lucrative and innovative of these advancements are held within these 3 sectors. How are these 3 sectors going to affect society in the future? Hopefully we can get a little bit better beat on that throughout this presentation. First main topic, we're going over the Internet of Things, abbreviated IoT. Internet of Things is simply classified as a scenario in which objects, animals, or people are provided with unique identifiers and the ability to transfer data over a network without requiring any human-to-human or human-to-computer interaction. IoT has evolved the convergence of wireless technologies, micro-electromechanical systems, and the internet. That is a quick definition that's brought to you by techtarget.com. Of these items, these objects are also called internet appliances because their ability to transfer their collected data to other machines, smart devices, and to people over network. Just about any object you can imagine, from the smallest household appliances to personal devices and large industrial equipment, can be part of the Internet of Things. Let me give you an example. Say you have an important work meeting on Monday. Your work calendar and your smartphone will alert your smart car of the meeting and the meeting's location, and your smart car will select the best route for you and take you to the destination after analyzing weather traffic data from external applications. That way, when you get in your car already has the driving route pre-programmed in the GPS to let you know how to get there quickly and efficiently. That would be helpful for, like, let's say, an on-call surgeon who just got called into work to a clinic that he's not used to going to. This data could provide him means for cutting off some commute time, obviously, so he can get to the patient, maybe save a life quicker. These smart objects create a web of communication that increases the interconnectedness of our world. As objects collect and send information and other objects and machines, they eliminate the need for human-to-human contact. Improving efficiency and eliminating the element of human error, Internet of Things is making our world more resourceful, efficient, and safer. The possibilities are really endless here. Second main point is going to be big data. During this, we're going to talk about what it captures, the types of data, importance of it, big data, such as uses, and then short and long-term outlook. So who the producers are and who the users will be. When we get into big data, we got to first discover the 3, the main pots of big data, some examples. This was taken off of Relational Solutions website. So this is just an idea of what big data can capture. 3 types here to discuss: structured, unstructured, and multi-structured hybrid. Structured is like mainframe, SIM-based, Excel, automatic Excel inputs and stuff like that. Unstructured, social media chatter, text messages, any kind of social media inputs, YouTube videos such as this, audio, music, and geospatial satellite images. Multi-structured hybrid, just e-commerce data such as gathered from like a logistical website. Big data is used for a number of things. Some of them are customer analytics, campaign optimization, for office, drug discoveries. We can kind of go through algorithms and figure out what's working and what's not working from all the data presented by patients. And then fraud analysis, figuring out both data fraud, electronic fraud, as well as physical fraud. So these numbers aren't firm or cement. They obviously bounce around a little bit as the needs change, but it just gives you an idea of how big data is mined to provide solutional data for companies or people. This is just a little cartoon that discusses, big data, and will introduce us to our 3rd main point here. It says, the wife says to the husband, when is your company moving to the cloud? You can't keep storing all your big data under the bed. That'll bring us right into cloud computing. And cloud computing is a general term for anything that involves delivering hosted services over the internet. A good definition of that is it allows application software cloud computing does to be operated using internet-enabled devices. Clouds can be classified as public, private, hybrid, or single. Here's some examples of some cloud resources that are available to the consumer out there. Google being the most prominent and the most robust of which. This video is being produced from Google Slides, which is stored on the cloud, not on my actual desktop or my laptop computer. And it's being uploaded to YouTube, which uses cloud storage to store the actual product, the video. Going back real quick here, iCloud obviously stores music and movies, and then Amazon Web Services, you're streaming of your movies that you buy instead of buying a physical DVD. You can buy a DVD, the MP4 of the movie, and it is actually stored at Amazon for you, not taking up any space in your house, yet safe from natural disasters or children's fingerprints or scratches. Benefits of cloud computing, you get faster service, less processing time off your personal PC. It's cheaper. It makes information and programs cheaper to use before because it takes away the buying of the actual licensor. Instead, you're renting the use of it, much like you would a utility. So like a power bill, you use power, specific amount of power, you get a specific amount of bill. Cloud's kind of going that same way. If you need, a word processor for a certain amount of months, you only have to rent the processor program for a certain amount of months and operate it from the cloud. In review, I use this little cartoon to kind of discover, it just lets you know how far man has come with technology. Obviously, we have a long ways to go, and there's so much more that'll happen. I'm sure we're just at the tip of the iceberg here, but it gives you an idea of where we're going. And these three big main topics, I believe, are going to really predict the future of where we're going with our digital age. So in review, the Internet of Things, physical objects are equipped with sensors. Objects obviously communicate over the internet, and this leads to what some would say is a smarter world. Big data. This is just an example of how big data is mined. This is just a review, by the way. So what produces it? The infrastructure that produces it, the analytics that discover and survey the information and process it, applications that may use that data that's been mined, and then of course some data sources and open source projects that use big data and mine big data. And then a quick recap on cloud computing. It's the general term of anything that is involved or share information over the internet. Cloud computing is also a way to make sharing of information easier, faster, and more powerful than before. Like I said earlier in the presentation, this all is just the tip of the iceberg, and I'm sure there is plenty more to come in this digital age. How obnoxious will it get? Will we be controlling our toaster, from an app on our phone? Who knows? It might get that ridiculous, but I'm sure it'll pendulum back to something a little more useful for our society to take advantage of. All right, thank you for listening to Group 2's presentation on Internet of Things, big data, and cloud computing. Thank you.